Most honored to have you back to Kids Art Fun. We're going back to Kung Fu Panda to draw Grand Master Oogway. There's lots of detail in this little creature, and we have to get it, in the right place, and we're going to start with his head, which juts out from his tortoise shell. And those eyes and the shape of the eyes are real important to make the character look right. So take some time to get it just in the right position. Grandmaster is standing at an angle to us. We're seeing him almost directly from the side, with just a little bit toward the front. So we'll see his belly. This is the upper part of his shell. And notice the angles. Make sure you get that. Remember, his head is attached underneath the shell. Tortoises' heads are drawn back into their shell, and there has to be space for it. So this opening we're drawing now is where his body is in between the layers of his shell. We get the back shape of the back, and then his little tail sticking out there. And Grandmaster Oogway, he walks with his cane and looks very regal and wise and important. That's his hand we're drawing, and make it so that we can now put the stick in there, his walking stick, because we're going to have to draw that in a minute. His legs coming out of the bottom of his tortoise shell. Cartoon characters are interesting to draw. Sometimes they're a little bit difficult because you are incorporating this animal into this kind of humanized form. There's his claws on his other hand that's hanging down by his side. It's the only part of his other arm that we see because his tortoise shell here is covering the rest of his arm because of the angle we're looking at him. And there goes his stick, his walking stick that goes right through his hand. We don't see it where his hand is. And it comes down a little bit in front of him where it sits on the ground because it is in front of him. We'll get the more details in his neck and his arms and tail and back end. Now there's a few more little lines we have to get in. The knees, where he's bending his knees, and more detail on the feet. We've got him pretty much outlined. Now we're going to do some coloring, and I'm going to go really fast here, like a race car. Much faster than a tortoise would walk, for example. But you can take your time. You can pause the video at any moment to catch up with my coloring. So we're doing the gray part of his underside and his belly. Making little dark lines too with the same pen to kind of divide the parts of his shell there. Now, his green parts. After all, his skin and everything is green. And making a little yellowish tail. His hands are yellow, arms green. Fingers the same gray, but a little bit darker. You'd run over it a few times. And now we're going to an aqua color for his shell. The outside of his shell and underside where his head goes under. And we finish up the green on his neck and his face. And we still have to do the stick, and we're about to finish that up now. And pretty soon, we've done it. We've got him all colored. So Grand Master Oogway with a few more details in his neck. Showing some texture to his old rough skin. And this wonderful, fun, and entertaining character from Kung Fu Panda is just about finished. And if you have to pause to catch up, which I'm sure you do because I'm racing along here, please do. And don't forget, when you're done with this drawing, to subscribe to our list if you haven't already. We're going to do lots more fun drawings, and we thank you for watching and joining us. See you again.